So, take a little respite here. A little storm kicked up. It's a light rain, but it's enough rain to send me in my car for a couple minutes while it passes. It should only take 5 or 10 minutes. But just want to log in today, talk a little bit. But switching up how I operate, and one of the things I was talking about earlier this week was, getting over my ego. It almost feels a little bit more freeing. I'm tapping into kind of like my vibe a little bit more. Tapping into, I guess there's different kinds of ego, different sides of the ego that you can get caught up in, and there's other parts of the ego where you just have to you have to embrace. And I think about the ego of shame or not wanting to look like you don't know what's going on or how to do things, and not asking for help. And then there's the ego of like being confident in oneself and like being like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get things done. I'm gonna embrace things I haven't done before or embrace things that I've done in the past. And so one of the things I started doing was I used to play for the Sharks. And so now I use like a shark emoji as like my go-to. I was using like the cross swords as like, fight, but now I'm using the shark. And so that's kind of like a symbolism for me of like, you're a shark. Oh, just, and so now I'm like, and then I'm thinking about like, you know, just embracing the names and the mythology and you just kind of have to like let loose a little bit, let yourself be a little silly, don't take it too seriously. You're just having fun. You're just using your emotional state, your mental state, your ego in a way that's beneficial to you versus only like letting it restrict you, restrain you. And so I'm trying to work here till sunset or about there, and kind of call it Sunset Squad, just be like, kind of rally people, you know. I have told people in my company, at least my trainer, like, I can lead. It just feels natural for me. I just end up doing it wherever I go. I don't seek it out. I just feel like it has to be done. Sometimes it's someone has to do it, right? But I don't seek it for power. I don't seek to be a person in management or a title to have control over people. It's more to how can I lift them up? How can I give them a place to latch onto? Like, one of the challenges I'm seeing in the industry, at least in our team, is the phase from the initial prime stage of you're going through these initial trainings and then you're out on your own. And some people they just fail, and I'm like, oh no, I'm next. That's what I'm getting into next, and that's where I've been like, oh, you gotta wake up a little bit. You gotta tap into your shark side, and but I see it, and I'm like, why is it happening? Why are other guys or girls struggling once they get to this next phase? What's the support like? What's the backbone of the organization? Or do they feel abandoned as they get into this next phase? And I know it's a lot different. And you have to wonder, like, how did they get to where they were the first time? And like, it's really really curious to kind of see and observe. And so all I can assume is the best in people, and how can I get them to find the best version of themselves, whether that's the people who are my peers who are new to it all, or my peers who have been in it for years and years. What can I do to show up every day and lift everybody? That's how I'm trying to approach this next phase that I'm getting myself into, is tap it into the shark side of me and the leadership side of me.